Now that our committees have joined us, I'll introduce for your benefit and theirs the judges who are participating in today's ceremony. From the Indiana Supreme Court, on my far right, Justice Frank Sullivan of South Bend, now in this city. Next to him, Justice Brent Dixon of Hobart and Lafayette. At the other end of the table, Justice Ted Boehm of Indianapolis, and Justice Robert Rucker of Gary, now of this city. Seated to my immediate left is Judge Robert Miller, the Chief Judge of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Indiana. And on my other side, Judge Sarah Evans Barker, Judge of the United States District Court for the Southern District of Indiana. We're also pleased that the Judge of the Indiana Tax Court is here. He is Judge Thomas Fisher, seated at the end of the table, just in front. And to introduce the members of the Indiana Court of Appeals, I'll call on the Chief Judge of that court, John G. Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice. Today joining me on the bench is from my right and your left, Judge Nancy H. Badig of Porter County, Judge L. Mark Bailey of Decatur County, and next to me, Judge Edward W. Najum, Jr. of Monroe County. On my left, your right, Judge James S. Kirsch of Marion County, Judge Margaret G. Robb of Tippecanoe County, and Judge Cale Bradford of Marion County. First, on behalf of all my colleagues on the bench, let me congratulate you on your accomplishments and welcome you soon to the practice of law. Also, let me extend to your family and loved ones our appreciation for their efforts in securing your place here today. Please make sure that each of you takes more than just a few moments to thank those who have been so supportive of your endeavors over these many years when you pursued your schooling and training that got you here today. Today you are about to embark on a whole new experience, one that many of us have marveled at for decades. You are to become a licensed lawyer, thus a state-sanctioned official problem solver. Some of you will solve problems through litigation, others through negotiations. And some of you, with keen advice and forethought, will help others avoid problems altogether. Although some of the most unfortunate and aggressive comments are from time to time made about lawyers, our society depends on you and others like you to help us solve the problems that are ever increasing in our world today. As you undertake this new endeavor, let me suggest to you three things. One, find a role model or mentor. Two, show up and participate. And three, take care of yourself and your loved ones. Many of you have heard it said that the best sermon is a good example. You learn more from watching someone do something right than you'll ever do by being told to do something. Take it upon yourself to find someone or a combination of people that you would like to emulate. Someone in your firm, someone in your community, someone in your family, heavens forbid, someone even on the bench. Try to find out what their characteristics and aptitudes are that make them the success that you believe them to be. Talk to them, learn from them, and don't hesitate to ask them for advice. There simply is nothing more flattering than having a young lawyer ask a seasoned veteran his or her opinion on a given matter. Secondly, show up and participate. More often than not, we all have great intention of doing something in the future. However, just the effort of being at a certain point at a certain time puts you in a position of success. You are well ahead of the person who has just good intentions, but failed to appear. You don't have to be the best at something in order to participate. When the Bar Association has a committee meeting, show up. Even if you don't have something you think you might specifically offer. At least you might learn something from the experience. When your local community needs volunteers, show up. These experiences will enrich your life more than any of the fees that you might be able to collect. Today you are somewhat overwhelmed by what you don't know, but all of us that sit up here realize how much you do know. And in the next few months and years, you will come to discover the same thing. Moreover, you have been given the tools to learn what you don't know and to use that knowledge to help other people solve their problems. So whatever metaphor, get in the game, show up. You don't have to be the best. You just have to work hard and participate. Use the talents you possess, for the woods would be very silent if no birds sang except the best. As Thomas Carlyle once noted, conviction is worthless unless it is converted into conduct. And lastly, I suggest that you take care of yourself and your loved ones. And how are you going to do that? Give yourself enough time so that you can nurture your family, your community, your neighborhood, your loved ones, your state, and your nation. You will have far greater riches from what you give than from what you get. You're now anxious to throw yourself in your new profession and work exhaustive hours, mastering your knowledge of the law and refining your skills. But I would caution you to make sure that you temper this enthusiasm with a commitment to take care of your health, that you exercise wisely, take care of your spirit and your mind, to worship as you will and find hobbies in something else other than the law. You will expand your horizons, make yourself a more informed person, and help you achieve the balance that you will necessarily need to have in order to help others in stressful times. In our beloved state of Indiana this year, we have had a number of celebrations and events recognizing the 200th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln. Though Lincoln was not born in Indiana, he spent his formative years here, and most would conclude that much of his character was formulated by his experience here. As Lincoln was a noted lawyer, I thought it'd be appropriate if I conclude my remarks today by a statement attributable to him when he said, and I quote, "Die when I may, I want it said of me by those who knew me best, that I always plucked a thistle and planted a flower where I thought a flower would grow." We encourage you to find a mentor, show up and participate, take care of yourself and your people, and pluck a thistle and plant a flower. Godspeed to you all.